Retirement SOS. I'm Ernie.
And I'm Beth.
And today we're going to talk about Miami. And about 20 years ago, we went to Miami as a family. We were obviously younger. We had young kids. And, you know, Miami is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. And we just had a ball as a family. Great time. Just before the pandemic, we went back to Miami. And suddenly, things had changed. And I can't say that they changed for the better. And here are the reasons why we're not going to be going back to Miami, but we still love Florida. The number one reason, and I think everybody's going to agree, the traffic. It's horrible there. I just couldn't believe the congestion when you compare it to 20 years ago. I almost felt like we were back home in Toronto. You know, we're on vacation. We don't want to be stuck in traffic. We don't want to spend a lot of time in traffic, but it was just never ending. And we were, going down to Bayside, and it would just take forever, whether we took I-95 or we went down the long route down to A1A, just traffic everywhere. Another thing that was hard, so as soon as you get back down there, the parking. Trying to find parking in Miami, what a headache that was. Yeah. And I guess maybe, we went on a weekday and there were maybe a lot of workers that were parked down there, but it was so hard trying to find parking. We finally got into a parking garage, and I believe we got the last parking spot on the 5th level. And the only reason we got that parking spot that day is that a car had just gone out, and I went right into that parking spot. So another reason that we don't want to go back to Miami is that we've noticed that there's valet parking, especially along the areas along the oceanfront. And I guess they've gotten rid of a lot of their parking, the hotels, they've expanded in other ways. But I don't know, it just seemed like every time we'd want to go out, it was a big cash grab. And, you end up spending, I don't know, like between $15 and $20 a day just to get your car.
Not to mention how long it takes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just waiting. And that was also very, very inconvenient.
We also found just the sheer amount of condos built along A1A really surprised us. I mean, after 20 years, obviously, there's going to be new buildings, but it was just like skyscraper after skyscraper. You couldn't even see the ocean driving along A1A, peeking through the buildings. I don't think we saw a glimpse of the ocean. So that was a little bit sad. I know that years ago there were little kitschy motels and hotels and mom and pop businesses that are, long gone. But it just kind of lost a bit of its charm for us. We also found Miami to be really overpopulated, I guess because the amount of condos built, just really overpopulated. Tons and tons of young people, which is okay, but really noisy and loud and just not the same. So when we were in Miami, we stayed at the Marco Polo Hotel. And it was lovely in that our room was oceanfront, so it was, fantastic. Just sitting there watching the ocean from your balcony, you can't beat it. Mm-hmm. The hotel itself was showing its age a little bit. I think it is getting up there in its years, so it was a little bit tired looking. The breakfasts were fabulous. The waffle machine,
very popular.
Do-it-yourself waffles, wonderful. The biggest thing that stands out from our time at the Marco Polo, though, was the almost scam. So when we were checking in, you did the check-in. I was kind of staring around at the lobby, not really paying attention, and they had warned us at the front desk that we shouldn't be giving out any personal information if someone happens to call our room. So a couple hours later, we are in our room. You're in the bathroom and the phone rings, and it's, very professionally sounding gentleman asking for my Visa card because their reservation system had crashed and they'd lost our Visa number. So I'm about to look around for his Visa card, which is the one we use. I'm yelling at him, "Where's your Visa card? They need our Visa number." And he's saying, why? And found it, never mind. And he's saying, why? I could hear him yelling. And I'm just about to give the number, and he comes bursting out of the room, hang up. So thankfully, we did not get scammed, and I should definitely be much more shrewd about these things. But
Well, in fairness, you were kind of standing back, looking at the luggage, and I actually did the check-in. But I will give the Marco Polo credit because they did warn us verbally, and plus they had a piece of paper stapled that just said beware. So they did a great job of warning us. It's just that you were kind of standing back, maybe not really listening.
I was being clueless,
So, but
that is something to really watch out for when you're staying in a Miami hotel, as these things do happen there.
now with the Marco Polo, the one complaint we did have was the pool.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
the pool. Okay, so they must put blocks of ice in their pool. I have never felt a pool so cold. You know it's cold when the ocean is nice and you can swim in it for hours, but I could never even come near getting used to the water. It was crazy, that pool.
And I think all the guests that week avoided the pool too, because the place was
empty.
packed. The place was packed, but the pool was empty,
No.
which is very, very unusual because we had some really hot weather, and you know how humid it can get in Miami.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Yeah. So another thing that kind of drove us a little crazy were some of the charges that you get in Miami, and it's again another reason why we're not going back, because we just felt like some of these things were a little bit of a ripoff. The thing that really bothered us was we went to a restaurant one night, just her and I, just two people in Miami, in a popular area, and I looked at the bill and I noticed that there was a service charge or a tip that they had predetermined, and I almost put a tip on top of that. So that would have been crazy. So really what it is you have to really read your bill carefully when you're in Miami, when you're in a very popular restaurant. And I don't understand why they would predetermine a tip for two people. I can understand if we're a group of 12 people, then they put a service charge on. But if you give us good service, we're gonna tip you fairly. So they didn't mention it, they didn't highlight it. So we were a little perturbed by that. Another thing that I'm a little surprised by is just the sales tax in Miami is higher in Miami than it is in Florida. So the sales tax in Miami, is 7%. The rest of Florida is 6%. I don't understand why they do that when there's so many tourists that go to Miami and they have to pay an extra 1% tax. And it can add up. I know it doesn't sound that much, but I don't know. I just thought that I don't think it's that fair, and I didn't really like that part. And the last thing where we got dinged was we had a rental car. So one thing you'll notice in Miami, it just seems like there's so many toll roads. I don't know. Can you avoid toll roads in Miami? I'm not sure if you can, but by the time we brought our rental car back, I believe our toll fee was $110.
Wow.
That really stung.
Yeah. But we do still love Florida, and we're going back. We're going back in February this year. So we're going to try something different, though. We're going to go to Fort Lauderdale, which I guess is not all that far from Miami, but we're hoping it's a little quieter. And then we're also going to go to the Gulf Coast to a place called Sanibel Island, which I think will give us a little bit more of a quieter atmosphere, more nature, and looking forward to that. So we're not quite snowbirds, but we are going to travel to Florida quite a bit, and we're going to discover places on the Gulf side and the Atlantic side, and it may not necessarily be Miami for us anymore, though. No offense, Miami.
Yeah, and Miami, you have the potential to make this up to us. So, we're not that mad at you, but we're just going to try some other parts of Florida. So we hope you enjoyed this video. So until next time.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.